Good morning, students. Hope you all are well. So today we are going to discuss some of the infectious disease in human beings. So the first is the pneumonia or the pneumococcal disease. It is a bacterial disease and it is caused by two bacteria, that is Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae, and it is generally affect our lung alveoli. Okay, so due to this infection, the alveoli, it is our alveoli is filled with fluid, and that causes a severe problem in respiration. So what is the mode of transmission? Let's see what is the mode of transmission. If we inhale the droplets of the infected person, then a healthy person get infected. And by sharing some utensils and food and water from the infected person, there is also the transmission of this bacteria. Okay, now let's see what are the symptoms of this disease and what is the treatment we have to do. So the symptoms involve cough and cold, fever, headache. Sometime in case of severe pneumonia, the lips and the nails, they may turn into the bluish in color, and sometimes it secretes bloody and rusty sputum. The incubation period of this bacteria is almost 1 to 3 days. And what is the treatment? We have to use some antibiotics. Two antibiotics are there, erythromycin and tetracycline. So these antibiotics are very effective for this pneumonial disease. So our next disease is related to a mosquito. So it is malarial disease and it is a communicable disease, and it is caused by a protozoan, that is Plasmodium. So there are actually 4 species of Plasmodium: Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium malariae and Plasmodium ovale, and that can cause different types of malaria in human body. So this malarial parasite or the role of the mosquito in the transmission of malaria was first discovered by Sir Ronald Ross in 1897. So let's see the life cycle of this malarial parasite and the transmission of malaria. So the life cycle of Plasmodium is known as digenetic. That means it has 2 hosts to complete its full life cycle. So there are 2 parts. One is the asexual part of the life cycle, and that is generally completed in humans. Okay, and that so that the human is known as the secondary host. Why secondary host? Because the sexual part of the Plasmodium, part of the life cycle of Plasmodium is being completed inside the human being, so that it is known as the secondary host. But the sexual phase is completed in the female Anopheles mosquito, and they are known as the primary. Also, the life cycle of Plasmodium is sometimes called as triphasic. Why? Because it generally completed in 3 phases: schizogony, gamogony and the sporogony. So schizogony means it is the asexual multiplication of parasite in humans. Next stage, that is gamogony. That means it is the sexual phase, and which is generally starts in human beings, but it is completed in mosquito. And the last stage, that is the sporogony. Again, it is the asexual phase, and it is a multiplicative phase, and it is generally occurred in mosquito. That's why it is called triphasic. Why? Because 3 phases are there: schizogony, gamogony and sporogony. So now let's see the asexual phase of the life cycle of Plasmodium in human. So it starts with the sporozoite stage. Okay, and the sporozoite are present into the blood of a healthy person by any infected female Anopheles mosquito with its saliva when it's sucking the blood of the healthy person. So the sporozoite, actually the infective stage of this parasite, and this sporozoite is very minute in structure and almost sickle shaped, and they are motile in structure, means they can move. So it starts with the schizogony phase. So once inside the human blood, it is present by the bite of the infected female Anopheles mosquito, the Plasmodium multiplies by this asexual reproduction, and that phase or that process is known as schizogony. So schizogony again consists of two stages. One is exoerythrocytic schizogony or hepatic schizogony. Okay, that is generally present or generally occurs in the liver cells, and another is only erythrocytic schizogony that is generally occur in RBC. So after when the sporozoite comes into the human body, after some time it disappears from the blood and it enter into the liver cells or the hepatocyte cell. Why? To start this schizogony phase. Okay, so when they enter, means when the sporozoites enter into the liver cell, there is some structural changes and it converts into the cryptozoites. Okay, so from sporozoite it will convert into cryptozoite in liver cells. So inside the liver cell, these cryptozoites again grows in size and it forms a round structure that is generally known as schizont. So after cryptozoite there is the structure that is schizont. So this schizont undergoes very multiple division, where it forms multiple nucleus, almost 800 to 1000 cells are forming inside the schizont, and that is known as cryptomerozoites. So when this 8000 to 100 cryptomerozoites are formed inside the schizont, and after some time it ruptures the schizont and it again starts infecting the fresh liver cells to start the new cycle of hepatic schizogony or the exoerythrocytic schizogony. Okay, so here what will happen? First is sporozoite, then it will convert into cryptozoites. After that schizont. Inside the schizont there is multiple division and formation of the cryptomerozoites, and cryptomerozoites rupture the schizont and again invade the fresh liver cells. So after this cryptomerozoites formed, some cryptomerozoite transferred into the metacryptozoites, means macro metacryptozoites and micro metacryptozoites. Okay, so some of the micro metacryptozoites enter into the bloodstream to invade the RBC and to start the new erythrocytic schizogony, means the next stage, that is erythrocytic schizogony, that is occur in the RBC cell. So these metacryptozoites enter into the RBC cells and grow in structure and form the trophozoite. After some time it bulges in structure, and the cytoplasm form a thin layer around the nucleus, and it form a stage that is known as the signet ring stage because of the ring-like appearance of the trophozoite. Inside the trophozoite stage there are some granules, that is the brownish black granule that is known as the hemozoin granule, present inside the central part of the trophozoite cells. And there is in the host RBC cells there are some orange and yellow pigment granules are present also there, so that they are known as the Suffner's granules or Suffner's dots, and it is generally present in case of Plasmodium vivax. So inside the trophozoite, the brownish black granules, they are known as the hemozoin granule, and the orange or yellow color pigments, they are known as the Suffner's dot. So after this trophozoite stage, the nucleus divides by mitosis division, and it forms almost 20 to 24 daughter nucleus, and they surrounds the cytoplasm and forms the merozoite stage. At this stage, these merozoites rupture RBC and again start this erythrocytic cycle by infecting the fresh RBC cells, and after the repetition of this few cycles of this erythrocytic schizogony, some of the merozoites are formed this gametes. Okay, so there are two gametes, microgamete and macrogamete. Macrogamete generally known as the female gamete, and the microgamete, they are generally known as the male gamete. So that is the next stage, that means the formation of the gametocytes. So this is the sexual starting of the sexual phase in partly in human, because only this formation of the gametes they are starting in case of human, but the rest part will start in case of the female Anopheles mosquito. So when the female Anopheles mosquito suck the blood of the infected human beings, so the gametocytes that is present into the RBC, they are enter into the stomach of the mosquito. Okay. So after that fertilization takes place, that means the fusion of the microgametes or the male gametes with the macrogametes and or the female gametes. So this fertilization takes place and it forms a diploid zygote, and they are known as eukainete. Means the zygote, means after the formation of zygote it known as eukainete. Now this eukainete stage or this eukainete, they can penetrate the gut wall of the mosquito and they comes on the surface, means the outer surface of the gut, and generally in the epidermis, present into the epidermis. So again this eukainete grows in size and form the cyst. Okay, and that encysted zygote is known as the oocyst. Okay, and after the division 50 to 200 oocysts may appear into the gut wall of the female Anopheles mosquito, and each of the oocysts grows in size by absorbing some of the nutrients from their gut wall, and they form, means the oocyst will convert into the sporont. That means in case of the sexual life cycle of Plasmodium, first is the fertilization, formation of the zygote, and then the zygote will convert into eukainete. Eukainete grows in size and form cyst at the outside of their cell wall and form the oocyst, and after that oocyst multiplies and form almost 50 to 200 oocysts, and they absorb nutrients and form the stage sporont. So the sexual cycle is completed. Now there is again the asexual phase in mosquito. So this stage is known as sporogony. So when this sporont divides by meiosis, and after that mitosis, it develops almost 10,000 daughter nuclei or 10,000 daughter cells, and they are known as the haploid sporozoids. Means from sporont they develop into haploid sporozoids. These sporozoids are motile in nature, and they after that, means after their mitotic division, these motile sporozoids enter into the salivary glands of mosquito. So they are present into the salivary gland of the mosquito and they stay there, and whenever this infected mosquito suck the blood of the normal person or a healthy person, that man get infected with this sporozoid stage, and that is the most infective stage of this malarial parasite. Okay, so as you can see in the diagram, the infected mosquito sucking the blood of a healthy person, the sporozoid stage are enter into our body. So first it attacks into the liver cell, that means that exoerythrocytic zygogony. Then they invade the liver cells, there is formation of the cryptozoites, then cryptomerozoites, and then the metacryptozoites, and after that will enter into the RBC cell and they affect the RBC cell and form the trophozoite. After that formation of the signet ring and the zygont, and means at last, and after this zygont stage there is development of merozoite and the gametes, microgamete and macrogamete. Then the sexual stage, actually the starting of the sexual stage in case of the female Anopheles mosquito, fertilization, zygote formation, then there is formation of eukainete, then oocyst, and then at last sporozont, and again the asexual phase in mosquito, the sporogony, that is the formation of the sporozoids, and it is present into the salivary gland of the mosquito, and then whenever this infected mosquito suck the blood of the healthy person, that healthy person get infected with this malarial parasite, and in one bite mosquito can may inject up to 1,000 of sporozoids.